Um, Next week I will be out of town. I'll try to do a little quick video on next Wednesday, but I'll be at the Celebrate Recovery National Soiree or something out in California. So me, Gavin Newsom, and the rest of the gang will be out there. So that'll be a hootenanny. Anyway, hopefully that'll be pretty cool. Me and my buddy Steve are going out, and it should be a good experience, and maybe I'll even learn something. But and then after that, the week after, I am going to start sort of a, not really a Bible study, I guess maybe a Bible discussion, something, I don't know what we'll call it, but on the book of James. So if you guys want to read ahead and be ready to go, 2 weeks, we will be giving out quizzes and taking grades. So it's very, very, very important. So anyway, not here next week, but I'm going to try to do a little video to say hello. And the following week, we will start a little discussion on the book of James. And maybe we will be challenged and things will go well for us. We'll see. Haven't ever done anything like that in this platform where you guys can sort of interact. So we'll see. But hope everybody's doing good. I don't know if I said that already. Got a dog walking over there that I keep seeing, and it kind of distracts me. And so I apologize for all that. Good to see everybody here on with us tonight. But so what tonight I wanted to talk about was how do we view ourselves, and how in light of our relationship with God. And has that changed for you at all over your Christian walk or experience? Now, there's a lot of reasons that's very important, but I often think one of the biggest challenges for people coming out of any sort of addiction, compulsive behavior sort of thing that controlled them, and it doesn't even have to be that. It could be a bad relationship situation where it was out of balance, and one person was more dominant in an unhealthy way over another, and you could be either side of that coin, or a bad maybe family environment where there was an awful lot of negativity thrown out. So it kind of runs. It's not real specific on the mess we're coming from. It covers a lot of ground on why it's important for us to think about that. And the reason, since it's such a challenge for us to even sometimes talk about it, and the church world doesn't do a real good job in a lot of cases discussing it. They pick and choose, but it's not a real holistic look. So anyway, so I wanted to kind of just touch on it briefly, and again, we're not going to get into it as much as we probably should, but we'll pick it up a little bit more in James. It kind of coincides, segues. I don't know. It does one of those things. It sort of gets us over there a little bit, and we'll pull from the idea of how we view ourselves in light of our relationship with Christ. You might have heard somebody say, what's your understanding your identity in Christ, like who you are. And that's a little bit different than, hey, I'm Joey, or hey, you're Debbie, or hey, you're Dwayne, or hey, you're Kara. It's a little bit different. It's the way that we understand our value and our relationship with God. And one of the things is for us to understand, and we've talked about this I talked about it 2 weeks ago on Thursday night. I mentioned it on Sunday a little bit. And Paul talks about it in 2 Corinthians, where we have to understand that not only is Jesus living in us, the John 3:16 born from above thing, but we are in him as well. So there's this union that happens. And because of that, we are made new. And so there's this newness of us. And that's the thing I kind of wanted to throw out at you guys just to sort of start this conversation. And that is the us understanding what the newness in Christ means for us. And that's vitally important, because if I'm made new and you're made new, I saw Kyle just popped up saying hello. If Kyle's made new when he encounters Jesus and Jesus lives inside of him, and now, as Paul talked about, Kyle and Jesus are sort of commingled in each other, like I am and you are. Jesus lives in me, and I live in him, and I am in him. If that is the case, the newness, the new body, the new birth, that whole idea, all the crap prior to that newness, and the way that I viewed myself, or the way you view yourself, needs to stop. And because it's not the same anymore. It's not I am no longer, you're no longer the same. So because of that, we have to begin to relearn how to look in the mirror. And what do we see? What do we believe about ourselves? And that's very, very difficult. That's one of the most challenging things, I think, that we, for some of us, that we kind of tackle as we grow in Jesus, is this newness of what does that look like? Paul, again, in Colossians, he says that we've been hidden in Christ. So the idea is all the bad is gone. God doesn't see any of the bad. And the only people that know about the bad is it's in my mind, it's my memory. And we let Satan or the enemy over here chirp about, hey, remember this, remember that time you did that, remember when you screwed up. See, God doesn't see it anymore. And so it's vastly different. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out, and I'm going to put some scriptures in the little blurb thing here in a minute when we get done. But I wanted to encourage you guys, if this is something you struggle with, and I know we all do, I wanted you to go and check out 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. That's because we're in Christ, we are now a new creation, or a new creature. Then Paul goes on in Galatians 3:26 to say that we are now clothed with Christ. So see, you kind of getting this. We're in him. We're new creation because of him and him and us. Now he uses analogies like we're clothed, we're covered with, and then Colossians, we're hidden in. So now, the clothing and the everything, we're protected. We're sort of safe. And then he goes on to talk about that we are given in 1 Corinthians 15. He says that we should thank God because of Jesus, we've been given this victory over everything. Everything that Jesus has had the victory over, everything that he defeated on the cross, death, resurrection, that whole deal, we have it too. And so that's why this stuff's so important. Because when we have a crappy day, and I know that if you didn't have one today, you might have one tomorrow. And if you didn't have one today or tomorrow, you might have had one yesterday or the day before. Because it happens. Dude, you just wake up and it's a crappy day. You don't even know why. Stuff just ain't hitting right. And in those moments, it's so vital for us to remind ourselves that I am a new creature, a new creation. Jesus lives in me and I live in him. I am clothed with his righteousness. I'm hidden in his love and his protection. And everything that he conquered and had victory over, I have victory over. And that can change our day. That can change our outlook. That can change our life direction if we allow it to sink in. That's why it's so important. That's the way, if we bring that approach to the table, if we come to everything we deal with the idea that, hey, I'm going into this knowing that I am new, covered, clothed, hidden in victory because of Jesus, and I move into the situation that way, it changes everything. What might have once been important and valuable is no longer important and valuable. What used to would have been overwhelming and unfathomable is no longer much of anything. Our perspective changes. Our view changes. Our source of just power and what just drives us changes. Because it's the source is Jesus and he in us, and he is driving us. It changes everything, folks. So check some of these scriptures out. Kara, I see she popped them up on there, but we'll make sure they're up at the top too, so it's easy to find. And maybe read them tonight. Maybe read them in the morning. Maybe write them down. Maybe put them on one of your notes apps or something that you got going on so you see them every once in a while. Maybe set a reminder and it pops up and you just like, oh yeah, hey, I'm clothed in Jesus. I am hidden in the King of the world. I am covered in his protection and his love. And I am made new and alive in him. That changes it all. So let's try that. What do you say? Hey guys, I love you. Have a great week. Remember, you are a follower and a believer of Jesus, and that changes everything. You are no longer that dumpster fire that you might have started off as. You are his, and he is in you, and you are in him. And let's live like that. Love you guys. Have a great week. Reach out if you need us. See ya.